May I have your attention, please? Good evening.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoy another exciting episode of our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last show of Straight Talk with Dean and Mark for this entire decade. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo, and as always, from NJ to NC, I'm in the studio with my right-hand man, Mark Lee. So, Mark, for the last time this decade, bro, tell them what's good in your neck of the woods, my brother.
Hey, you know, folks have been really busy here in Durham. As always, we've had all kinds of things jumping off here at the Hayti Heritage Center. As a matter of fact, today I am calling you from the Hayti Heritage Center because we had Black Santa in the house, and he was over there having lots of kids come by, take pictures with them. And as a matter of fact, I hope that you have been a good person today because there is even the possibility that Santa may be calling into the show later on today. I did ask his agent, Stafford, we had on the show sometime back about the possibility of Santa calling from the North Pole. So we'll see if Santa's going to make a special appearance or not. But they may get a special appearance from none other than Santa Claus this evening. We're going to see if he's in the mood after having taking pictures with kids, or if he had to make that sleigh ride real fast back to the North Pole and get some things designed and everything. He will be back here tomorrow, but that's by appointment only. So if you haven't made an appointment, you need to call Stafford over at 919-583-7900 and make that appointment because he's going to be here tomorrow between 10 and 3 with Black Santa. But if you don't make it to that then and you haven't got your Christmas list together, well, you might just be out of luck. You might have to wait for Kwanzaa or the 2020, or you might be one of those folks that get the cold. You know, I'm hoping you don't get the cold because that's the last thing you want. You don't want to get the cold. You don't want to get things of that nature. That's the last thing you want. Even though, you know, I understand we have a person sitting there in the White House that's been doing a lot of tweeting and doing things like that, and there's actually an article today that says that he is tweeting more often and more negatively. So I'm thinking that he might be heading toward coal land. I could be wrong, but he might be heading toward the coal land because there's a recent article that said that in 2017, 14.9% of the words that Trump put out there had a negative connotation. And apparently that has gone up now because he's got even higher numbers than that kind of number. So it looks like he is definitely doing more tweeting more frequently and doing a lot more negatively. That's according to a USA Today analysis. They sat there and checked out his tweets and tried to do a little study of what he was saying and things of that nature. It says that on a quiet Saturday morning at Camp David this fall, President Donald Trump picked up an iPhone and composed a series of tweets that cut through the tranquility of the wooded retreat like a digital chainsaw. In nearly a dozen Twitter messages posted before breakfast, the president attacked House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, lashed out at Democrat lawmakers central to the impeachment effort, described Hillary Clinton as sick, and tried to dismiss the inquiries into his dealing with Ukraine as corrupt and garbage. He said we should all work together to clean up these hazardous waste and homeless sites before the whole city rots away. Trump wrote about the homeless in San Francisco. Then he shifted to a favorite target. Pelosi must work on this mess and turn her district around. So says that he's just becoming more and more negative and just, he just doesn't know what to do with that Twitter finger of his, and he's always putting out some negative tweets, and apparently his numbers are going up in the amount. Like I said, it said in 2017, 14.9% of the words in Trump's tweets had a negative connotation, according to a USA Today analysis. That crept up to 16.4% by December of this year. Meanwhile, the share of positive words fell from 24.5% to 19.9%. So apparently he just does not like saying anything positive about people, and that's just the nature of that person that occupies that district of Columbus. And, I'm sure that the man that's keeping track of things in the North Pole is keeping tabs of all of these things and has probably decided whether he should send him a lump of coal or not. But that's one of the things that's going on the global world and everything. But like I said, we just had a massive amount of great events here at the Hayti Heritage Center. On Friday, we had Tap Cork, which my friend does this, a buddy of yours as well, Desan Ahanu, along with his partner Ty Allen. But they have this thing where they basically are doing some salutes to some of our liquor companies and things of that nature. And, of course, they do some of their poetry and singing and things of that nature. So they had that going on. And then we had some filmmakers that were here doing a workshop with Bruce Cole, a noted filmmaker. So that workshop went on, and they definitely seem to be enjoying themselves. I did duck in there, check out some of what was happening. Looked like a lot of knowledge was being passed on to our southern filmmakers here in the area, particularly from the Triangle area of North Carolina. And then on Saturday, well, it was going on for the whole weekend, but and actually Nikki may give a call in later. She was one of the people that was involved in it. But on Saturday, there was a production of Black Nativity. You know, that's a very popular play that Langston Hughes wrote some time back. And Wendell Tabb, a noted Hillside teacher here in Durham, has done it, I believe he said, for 13 years. So for 13 years, they have done that play very strong. And if you know anything about that play, it is a powerful gospel production about the birth of Jesus Christ and things of that nature. But definitely, I mean, they add some modern connotations to it, but it is a smoking cast, a smoking production, and definitely if you missed it and the last day was yesterday for the matinee performance, you missed a definite treat, because I have seen that production and I know that production is just an amazing production. So definitely that was going on Saturday. Then the Poetry Slam was taking place on Saturday night, and this was actually what is considered a competition type. I mean, they're all competition, but this is team competition. So we had the Bull City alumni against the Bull City newbies. So these are some folks that have not graced the stage as many times, have not won the right to be on the team and things of that nature, and they went against Charlotte. Charlotte is a reigning power. I mean, I got to give a big shout out to Blues. He's the man who's got it behind that team and everything, but they just are knocking the socks off with people with their poetry. I mean, they are the reigning national champions. They have won several national championships, and they just bring fire, whether they're talking about gentrification, whether they're talking about the police brutality, whether they're talking about whatever issues they feel like bringing onto the table. They bring it with some stone fire. I know that the Bull City team brings it with fire as well, but we're going to have to step up our game, because every time I see Charlotte, I am just blown away by the way that they come, and they come real strong and real hard. And then and then 6-8, which is another church that meets here at Hayti, they had a Christmas Eve service yesterday on Sunday. So on Sunday they had that Christmas Eve service going on, and at that time they celebrated. Actually, it was an interesting sermon versus concentrating strictly on what most people concentrate on, which is Jesus Christ and his birth and just the whole tenets of Christianity. Pastor Darrell Briscoe was actually concentrating on the fact that we need rest, both internal and external rest. And that's just a message that we all need to take heed of, because a lot of times we do not get enough rest. We're too busy ripping and running, trying to do this and that, and rest is actually what is needed in order for us to regenerate and things of that nature. So, he was taking that passage about bringing the weary to the God message and everything, but just saying that the fact that we need rest and need it on a regular basis was a very much a powerful part of his sermon. And then he preached the message of Silent Night, sing the song Silent Night to end everything out and everything. So that was last night. And then, like I said, we had Black Santa last night, tonight, this afternoon. He'll be back tomorrow morning into the afternoon. And so it was actually morning to afternoon today. So Black Santa's been here for a number of days. I think he came on the 20th through the 24th, and he was here on November 16th and December 7th. And then Christ Central had their regular church services that were going on. And Pastor Aaron Anderson, one of the younger pastors for the church, he actually was preaching about the loss of his mother, because he lost his mom. That really devastated him. But at the same time, it was about how even in that kind of time of turmoil, he was able to use that to even reaffirm his faith in God and what God is doing and things of that nature. So even though he was definitely acknowledging that he was in deep pain over the loss of his mom, and he definitely shared a lot of what that pain was about and everything, but he did let folks know that through it all, he did know that his mom, who was a deeply Christian woman, was at his side and things of that nature, even when things were hard as they were and everything. So it was just a very touching sermon that Pastor Anderson gave. Like I said, it's usually either the main two preachers, Daniel Mason being the primary one, and Timothy Price also doing some preaching as well. They're like the primary two ministers for that particular church. But if you had heard that sermon, you would have been, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house, because he definitely shared what that meant to him, his mom's testimonial, but he also was letting folks know the powerful message that it could bring and everything. Because one of the things he was talking about was preaching about comfort. That was the main part of the sermon, was comfort, and how just knowing that even though his mom was gone and he had to go to some comfort places in his life. He's a former college football player, so he went into the whole physical exercise and things of that nature in order to get comfortable. But he was just letting folks know that even though he was going through these rough times, the support he got from his friends and his church family were very much needed, and that comfort was a very important part of the message that he was preaching on his sermon.
Wow. That's a lot, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, make my weekend look kind of small. You know what I mean? But shout out to the brothers of Woodland Lodge number 30, Prince Hall affiliated Free and Accepted Masons, for the Christmas cheer that they brought this weekend. Also, the Gamma Nu chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated for bringing a little cheer to individuals on Joint Base McGuire Dix Lakehurst. Just wanted to shout those two organizations that are special to me out for, shining a little light during this time of year for some people who may need a little bit of it.
And that's always a good thing. Oh, good. And I think one of them may be Nikki. And Nikki was, of course, one of those people that I was talking about that was in the play that was going on and everything. And we might even have Bradley Simmons on as well, or Main Man, because I'm expecting at least 2 or 3 people to call. So let's see who we got on. And there might be all North Carolina numbers, but let's see who we got on and what they want to talk about.
All right, would you want to bring both of them in at the same time?
Yeah, let's bring them on. Well, see if you got Nikki first. Bring Nikki in first.
That's going to be a trick, Reed. You know that, right? I have to find out who is who. But give me a second. It's Straight Talk with Dean and Mark, y'all.
This is Nikki Hall, founder of Simply Radiant LLC, a woman with great passion and skill to make you look and feel better. Meet me where you are. Let's take it to another level, a new you. See you soon. Call 919-971-6243. Make your place today.
Bass players, best thing you can do for your overall sound. You've got to see this. New Bass Tone Incorporated makes Nightwalker bass guitar tube preamps. This preamp will give your sound such a boost, it's just incredible. Try it today. Try it today now. A great sounding bass guitar will make for a great sounding band. Make your band sound at its best. Best thing you can do for your bass guitar sound. NewBassTone.com. NewBassTone.com.
All right, and we are back, and we actually have Miss Nikki Hall on the line. Welcome to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Glad to have you. Nikki, I had the pleasure of meeting when we were both doing the mass transit thing. I was doing the TTA thing, going back and forth around Raleigh and Durham and things of that nature, and met her a number of years ago. At the time, she was telling me that she was a rising, had done acting, had done singing, had done all this other kind of talent, but had been also very much involved in life and things of that nature. She is had the relationships that have gone not that well, so that she was raising family, raising grandkids, doing all that.
Yes.
Felt that she was getting out of the industry, and I just looked at her and I was like, no, I believe that you have the talent, you have the skills, and you will be